Hey pals, this is class 2 of Apoxie Sculpt. Hi you guys, I see Carol's here and Dara's here so far. What we're going to do is this clamper cuff that was in your kits if you did get a kit. If you didn't, we have plenty of these at the site and they are not expensive either. Gold and also silver, so if you want to pick one or two of those up, you surely can. Let's see who's coming in. Oh, there's Annalise. Annalise is all the way from Norway, so we always tickled to see her. But we're going to learn how to cover it, because that's a whole big thing about Apoxie Sculpt. You can cover forms. People who do sculpture, they make wire armatures, which is forms like a skeleton, and they cover it and just build it up with Apoxie Sculpt. Well, you can do that with jewelry too, especially a cuff. Another thing you can do it on, and I don't know if we're going to have time to do it in this class, but we may do it later, is you can cover a glass bottle with it and make it into something else, you know. So, I mean, you could just cover stuff. Like if you want to use some old beads that you have are really big, you can cover them with Apoxie Sculpt. You don't have to use all the Apoxie Sculpt. You know, the core can be that great big bead, which is kind of nice, you know. So anyway, so we're going to cover this, and I'm going to show you how I approached it. It is not hard. There are just a few things that you have to keep in mind. Maybe I'll set it up here.
We showed a sneak peek, too, of it last week.
Yeah, that's what I was worried. It still doesn't have all the stone set in it, but that's just glue stuff I got to do. But that one I did. And there was a way to get it in the front, so it would have that little pearl in the middle with that. Because you have to be careful when you make it that you don't have those parts touching when it's curing, because you know what it's going to do. It's going to cure all together, and then you're going to have really great time with that. So, you know, you have to watch that. And also, there is a spring hinge in the back. So you have to be careful you don't get that. If you flip that around, you'll show. See, I left the hinge out.
Trying to get it so it's
And
not blurry.
you really have to, because if you don't,
There we go.
the clay will get into it and then it'll render it useless.
Sorry guys, it's
So
blurry on me a little bit. There we go.
I put a little bit more clay inside of that one than I did this.
Yes, it's more covered.
Show, but it was easier to make that way. But one thing I gotta check, that's really not quite cured.
This
But,
one?
no, but it's getting there. But
Yeah.
you have to be careful when you do that. Now it still fits me, but when you add bulk inside of the cuff,
Then it makes it tighter.
right,
The thickness
which
goes.
for you would be
Which
good.
for me is good, actually,
But
because
if
I
you
have a baby
big,
wrist.
if you have a larger wrist,
Yeah.
you may want to, you know, excuse me, check on that first.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah, I have an itty bitty baby
I'm
wrist.
just trying to get, you know, some stuff mixed up here, and I had intended to have it mixed already. The only thing good about not having it mixed already is that it will last longer, and we're going to need to take some time with it, because what we're going to do is I'm going to, you know, kind of go over this with you, but then we're going to do it on this cup.
When you did this one, did you happen to weigh how much epoxy you used?
I didn't. I didn't. I eyeballed it this time too, and to be honest with you,
Just curious.
I'm going to have way too much. It was okay this morning because I had a bunch of filigree that I wanted to cover the backs. So
For another class.
Yeah, for another project. But this one, I'm probably going to have to make beads real quick because, you know, it does harden up after an hour or two. So, but we're going to need it to cover this. And then once we cover this and learn how to cover this, we'll put it aside. And then we'll use this to
Do our
run it
technique
over
that we
the
did
top
last
and
week.
do the embellishments, you know. So you'll get to see how the whole thing goes, and then you can trot off and start doing it. And you know, we have colors too at the site. We have blue, we have red, and we have black, besides white. So, you know, if you like those colors,
You can mix them too.
yeah, you could, but I don't know how those colors look next.
Well, blue and red will make purple.
Well, yeah, you could, maybe, yeah, you could try it. But anyway, we do have other colors, so you could take advantage of that. This week, we have a code 20 off 50 200FF50, and that gets you 20% off $50 and up. So the minimum is a little bit lower, so maybe that works for you. But 20% off of a package of Apoxie Sculpt that's a chunk. And my price is already too low, being honest, because I didn't raise it when the new stuff came in.
And then if you go a little bit over 50 with your coupon, you can get free shipping too.
Yeah, because our shipping's at 50 now. So we tried 35, and we enjoyed doing it, but we just couldn't sustain it. So most sites have 50 or even more. A lot of sites have 100. So, but I don't. I have 50. Okay, guys. So we're gonna get busy on this. And what I do is I kind of imagine it in sections and then kind of pinch some off. So I'm going to pinch off about that much, and that's going to take care of the front part. And I'll probably have to pull some off, but that gets us started. So then I'll do another one. I'm not going to put this one on because I like to work on one side at a time. But this will be for this part. And then, as I get along, I'll just pull off other pieces to push into it. And on this one, too, I'm going to cover the whole thing because, excuse me, leaving the inside show like this is fine. Nothing wrong with it. But it's a little bit harder. It takes a little bit more time because you've got to keep it even, So with this method, you don't have to worry about it. So. All right, so we'll start covering. Now, I can tell you already, this is too much because it's way up high. So I don't need that much. So I'm going to pull a little bit off. And remember, if I pull some off and then I say, oh, I should have left that, big deal. Go get another little hunk and stick it on there and push it out. It will be fine. Okay? Boy, I hope my voice is going to hold up and sound hoarse again.
Yeah, I'll open your Coke for you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. You guys know I've been working to try and get my voice back. And it's coming along, and I found some voice teachers on YouTube that teach you how to do R&B riffs, which I've always found exciting. So I was riffing around. I think maybe I should have gone on vocal rest this morning. It was so much fun, though. Oh, man, was it fun. It was fun. Easy, too, once they explained it. I always said, I don't know about that, But it was easy after the teacher explained it.
Zoom in a little bit more for you guys.
I can't remember her name. It's on YouTube, though. There are a bunch of them. You can learn just about anything you want on YouTube.
So you want to do the front and the inside separately,
I'm
right?
smushing it down. It's getting all over in the back. That's good. Don't worry about it. It's actually easier that way. So
I was gonna say, should you try to smush it through some?
You can. You can. It doesn't hurt at all. Just want to be careful that you don't get it quite to the end because you don't want any epoxy sculpt to be hitting on each side because then it's gonna adhere together and that's not gonna be good. There's a little kitty girl who's already being bad.
She's giving her 2 cents.
Yeah, she thinks she knows.
Miss Mill.
She says, I said and watch Brenda do it. I could tell you all about it. Silly cat. So, and if you don't get it all covered, when you have it all covered, you go back over it and you see, bare spots or if it's high here or it's low there. You can fix it so easy. There is nothing hard about this.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it's
not
too bumpy. Just
smooth and you can smooth it out with a little bit of water on your finger. I find that safety solvent works better. Am I getting wrong? Yeah, there it is. Safety solvent works better. It's made by the Avies company to use it on Epoxy Sculpt, and it helps you to get marks out of it if you need to. With this, On the top, you don't really need to.
Since you're embedding
You're gonna
it.
cover it, so it's just not too worried. Hand waving. Hi there, Colleen. Debbie's out there, Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Who said they've been looking forward to
Oh, that
this?
was Annalise.
Oh, Annalise,
Yeah.
okay.
She wants to know
She hears me fine.
if it sticks to wood.
Yep. It sticks to about everything. Very few things that it doesn't. Which can be good or bad. Depends, you know. But it sticks to this clamper, no problem. I can tell you that. I can tell you that for sure.
Hi, Colleen.
Oh, how nice to see you, Colleen.
We're going to be covering and embedding a clamper.
And it's just kind of like watching paint dry for now. But you do need to see, you know, how it's done. See, I've got this all covered inside. It's a little bit lumpy and bumpy, but I'll go over and do that later. Oh, and you know, I always advise that you use gloves to mix epoxy sculpting. You probably saw that I did not. That's probably not the best way. I don't use it every day, so maybe it doesn't matter. But I just can't stand those gloves. I remember when I used to clean houses years ago, and the lady said, "Don't you want some rubber gloves?" I have some rubber gloves. I'm like, heck no. I don't want any. I can't do what I need to do. Okay. Hi, Deborah. Good to see ya. So yeah, we're covering this clamper, Colleen, which I can totally see you doing. I can see you doing.
I think you were on last week, Colleen. We showed a sneak peek of it. That's
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah,
So you
it's
need to
not
make
too
sure
bad for first one, you know, but you're refining as you go on. But I mean, after I set the stones in some of those little cuffs, I would have no problem wearing it.
So this is the one I showed.
It's really pretty.
And then
on.
she did this one already, and she covered the inside completely of this one, which is what she's going to do with this one that she's
Yes.
working on currently. And then
I'm
this
just
is the
showing
one-
you how you go about it. Now, you have to be careful when you get back toward that hinge. You've got to get the hinge partly covered up to about here. Can you get that?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
You want to get it to about here. And then don't go any further because you won't want to risk getting any into the hinge because that's a problem. That's a real problem you don't
I'll
want.
try to show you guys on this one too. If I can see.
You do not want that problem.
So it still opens and
It
shuts.
would be
easily.
better that you left it alone and left it show a little bit than
And then there's the back
get
again.
that going on.
And this
Get
is
that
the
mess.
one that we're going to embed later. We're going to use the
Yeah.
same technique that we used last week in class 1 with the
Yeah.
necklace base.
Yeah.
Using epoxy to embed our stones.
Right. So we will do that as soon as we're done covering this because I thought about it. Well, maybe I could just, you know, kind of talk them through cover because it's like takes a while, you know, and all that. But no, you need to see it done for me to, you know, show you it properly. So that's what we're doing now. I'm showing you how it's done, and I'm going to have to go ahead and finish it because I've got all this stuff here. So I can't just do one side and say, oh, you know, hey, I'll come back to that later. I mean, I could, but I don't think it's what is best. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm covering the whole thing. Then we're going to set it aside. And like I said, on the top, don't worry if you get fingerprints in, don't worry if you have nails and you make a mark. This is going to be covered one more time. The inside, you might want to smooth out because that will show. But,
Plus, it might not fit nice on your hand, though. It might be like a little,
Yeah.
like if you get...
so,
If you don't happen to have one, Colleen, we have them at the site. We
Yeah.
have plenty if you want to
Yeah.
get one.
we have I think all of the cuffs that I put in the kit. We have the big panel cuffs, which you were in the class the first time we had it, Colleen, I think was 2-3 years ago.
She was saying she thinks she has one in her stash from a while back, but she's gonna have
I didn't have these done though, because I didn't know they existed.
She says she's gonna have to look and see.
I about had a bird when I found these, because I'm like thinking, never, no way am I gonna get something like this. Except I do have a company that's in the U.S. who does make them from time to time. They don't have them all the time. And they're made in the vintage style, the way they were made back in the day, which is cool. That's what I look for. But they don't always have, and they're terribly expensive because they're U.S. brass. These are imports. They're very nice, but they just don't cost as much, so I don't have to, go up that much, which makes me happy because I like to keep it down where I can. Okay, now you can see how far I went into that hinge. I could go a little farther actually, but it's okay like that. One thing's for sure is I know it's not getting into the hinge if I leave it there. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. You can maybe get a little bit more on the outside than the inside. So here I've got it on the back. See? That is. Yeah. Yeah, Colleen likes to make cuffs. She's very good at it.
Yeah, I saw one that she made actually, I think it was with Apoxie sculpt. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Colleen, and she used mermaid sand.
I have to look in my hard drive because I have most all of Colleen's
That's where I got it from.
pictures
I
in
got
there.
it from you, yeah.
Yeah, that must be in there. I have to look. I have most of Colleen's pictures in there. That's, I keep everybody's picture like a proud kindergarten teacher. Now, I keep them because I use them.
Mm-hmm.
So some week, it's kind of slow. People are on vacation, just don't feel like posting something. Well, I got stuff to post because I have thousands of pictures.
I've been using people's pictures too for my reels.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I've been getting my pictures.
You did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've got this, and I think that's okay because it's still hitting on metal, so I don't have to worry about that. Because the big problem is when I get epoxy sculpt on the other side, and if I have epoxy sculpt, touching epoxy sculpt, that's going to be an issue. No, don't do it. Not in that case, not there. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead.
Yep, she says yes. Yep. Yeah, you did use epoxy with it? Yeah, I thought so. It looked like it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to go look for that one. If I can't find it, Colleen, I'll let you
have
know.
it.
You have it? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can give it to me.
We need Jordan playing the guitar for us for background music.
If only I had time.
Yeah, if only I had time. Yesterday I was all fascinated by Joni Mitchell. Every day it changes. Yesterday I was all fascinated by Joni Mitchell music, which I always liked her, but I never paid much attention. So anyway, then I paid attention. Now I'm all fascinated about it. But I says, you know what? That's going to be hard because she uses very weird tunings, some of which she made them up. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what they are. Changes how you make chords and everything. It's like, oh man. So I told Jordan, I says, I want to work on these few songs here, but I says they're all weird tunings and it affects the sound of them. He goes, oh, you mean like this? Oh, you mean like this? He showed me 3. These are all Joni Mitchell type progressions. He had the open E, I think. And so don't you know, this morning I found these 2 girls who usually play bluegrass, but they were playing Joni Mitchell. And they were using open E tuning. I could tell from watching Jordan the day before. I'm looking at that's open E tuning.
And he loves to say that he doesn't play guitar, that he doesn't know how to play guitar.
He plays very well.
Yes, he does.
He plays very well. He's been playing for a long time.
That he has. Since he was, 14?
I think he was 14 when I got him his first one.
We have a picture of it on the fridge right in front of
Well,
us.
actually, I didn't get him one. Yeah, that's not his first one, though. That's his first Strat. He was so proud of that. And it was a good one, too. We found a deal on it. But anyway, No, he'd been playing for a while. And how it started is I had an old Yamaha guitar, and that was the one I used to beat around on a lot. And I wasn't playing it anymore because I wanted something better, and I hadn't gone around to get it yet. So he says, "Mom, I want to play guitar." I said, "Oh, good for you."
Well, originally didn't you guys try to get him to have like piano lessons or something?
He had piano lessons.
And that didn't take.
No.
And he picked up the guitar, and that was that.
Yeah, well, actually, though, it did take somewhat because he knows an awful lot about keyboards.
He does know keyboards.
And he wouldn't
yes.
know what he knows if he had not played
Right.
piano. So, anyway, he helped me get mine. I got a good one, baby, I'll tell you what. So, anyways, he says, "Mom, can I want to play, can I use your guitar?" And I says, "Well, you can, but it needs restrung. So, prove yourself. Go restring it and get it tuned, and then show it to me. Can you do it? Can you do it? I'm not going to show you how." That little bugger went in there and got it. He nailed it.
And that was before YouTube.
Yeah, that was before he could look on YouTube. So he nailed it. He got it strung, and he was playing on one string, which you can do that, just sliding up and down. So he was playing on one string, and I was this little poor kid. So,
Oh, you're never late, Claire. You're good.
yep. So, he just kept playing. He never did have a teacher. You don't
No,
want
he
one?
taught himself.
You didn't want one? I had a guitar teacher, and to be honest with you, it didn't do much for me neither, but I did. So I thought, if he can, coming out of nowhere, figure out how to get them strings off and put back on and get them tuned and have it be right, and I've never told him how, and there's no YouTube to tell him how. I says, if he can do that, then he's good on his own. Yes, he was very good on his own.
I feel like him and Dad are very similar like that. Dad taught himself how, and they both kind of use like the guitar tabs and listen. They play by ear.
Jordan can read tab, which I can't. I'm like, huh? What's that? I don't like to read music, period. I can, but I don't like to. I'm slow.
And then I don't know if I've told you guys before or not, another little hidden gem about our manager over here, Jordan. He also plays harmonica.
Yep, he does. Now see, I just spoke on this is high on this side, so I gotta drag that down. But also, I've got
To watch the end.
a little bit of epoxy sculpt where it ought not be.
Bad.
So I'm gonna smush that back because I don't want that touch. Although I could probably bust. It's so little, I could probably bust it loose. But why should I do it? Do it right to begin with, right? So anyway, yeah. So yeah, George started. I remember a friend of ours. We had a real fancy anniversary party for him. It was 25 years, and we had a very well-known musician between here and Pittsburgh. Him and his group come and play. And I says, I'll pay your fee, which was kind of spendy. I said, I'll pay your fee, that's fine, no problem. I think you saw, I was going to say, oh, thanks, but no thanks. I said, I'll pay it, but you have to allow Jordan to come up and play with you at least once. And he's like, okay. And I know he thought, I'm going to get
This
some
little amateur
little kid, that can't do anything. He says, all right, yeah.
Or
So-
like heavy metal or something. Or just do like something real like
So
loud and
Jordan, we went. It was a dress-up party. It was formal. Jordan goes up in a suit, and the guy's looking at him. He says, "What kind of card I've got? I've got my strap with." Ooh, his strap. He's kind of making fun a little bit. And he said, "What are we gonna play, Jordan? It's up to you." He said, "We're gonna play Johnny Be Good at Key of B." And he goes, "Okay." He says, "You want to kick it off?" He said, "Yeah." And he went right
He made
into
me
it.
change key too.
Oh, did he? He wouldn't play it in
I
B?
knew it in B. He made me do it in a different key because he said he couldn't sing that low or something like
he
that.
was testing you.
He's like, oh,
Or-
Barry White's going to show up if I sing up in that key.
Well, that's
But you got it wrong though. The only reason he watched me so intently is so he could carry me. You see, I was a lead guitar and he is an amazing musician.
yeah.
And
But he
that's
did
what I
not
think-
have to carry you.
Yeah, he did. He played notes to cancel out my bad notes.
You didn't
pay
have
attention.
bad notes. You were
Yeah,
very
he
good.
You couldn't hear him because he was playing so good.
Oh, Jordan.
See what I mean?
Jordan always said, "Oh, you do that." But he got up there and he kicked it off and blew it out of the water. I was like, what? And we had Jordan's friend Ryan, who's Shelley's son, and he played the drum pretty good, so he got up there and played the drums too. And those boys did just fine. They had a garage band, so they knew a little bit about playing together, so that was fun. Yeah, the garage band days were fun. All the kids came over here on Sunday. We had nothing but kids wall to wall.
Macaroni and cheese.
And I had to feed them. So, yeah, there was a lot of macaroni and cheese. It was so fun.
Deborah,
So
it'll wash off. Once you're done applying it, it'll wash right off with soap and water.
Oh, I get it off easy, Deborah. Don't worry.
Like, she's wondering, when you use the actual, color epoxy, how long before it starts fading off your hands.
It could stain.
Because she can't wear gloves either.
It could stain, but you'll get it off.
But yeah, the color, just wash it, like I said, as soon as you're done applying it, when you're done with that part of the
When I'm done with
epoxy,
it, yeah.
just wash your hands with soapy water
And warm
warm
It
water,
really
yeah.
as hot as you can stand it. Now, if it stained your hands because it was red or blue or black or something, you're going to have to work at it a little bit more. This is a good question that you asked, Deborah. That's very good. So I'm glad you asked
But
it.
usually it washes off pretty easily.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't matter if there are little dents and dits and, if you make marks, it's going to get covered. So you just want to get it even. I'm just so afraid it's going to touch and cure together. You don't want that. I've almost got it just from that first log. But I want to be sure there's enough to cover the inside. So far it's good. You want to work it, as you put this on, you want to work at getting it smooth. This is a little high too. It doesn't matter. I'll compensate for that when I put embellishments on. So that's no problem. Not a problem. It's all good. I never forget that night that guy's up there. Oh, what are you going to do, Jordan? Yeah, I guess he thought that he was Marty McFly or something. Because Back to the Future, that's what he played.
About music, Mom. They're coming here to-
Well, I'm covering this thing, and there's nothing to talk about here except to watch. So I have to say something.
We have to entertain them somehow.
No, I'm not worried about that. I have to say something so I can keep going and not fall asleep. Not that you're boring.
Tell them some funny stories about you, like how your brother shot you with a BB gun.
Maybe you want to tell that one.
You tell it better than I did because you're the one that got shot.
No, I don't tell that. That's not funny. We got in big trouble over that too.
As you should.
When we were kids, we did some stuff. My mom always had to work. So we'd get up in the morning and there'd be like a great big long list of stuff we had to do. It's like, So we try to get through it, Then Keith, that's my brother, he thought, it would be fun to just open the patio door and shoot birds with this BB gun out the back door. And I did not like that. I imagine
surprised your
most of
parents
you
had
would not
one.
either. I did not like that. So I said, you got to stop that. They're just little birds. They're allowed to enjoy their life. How dare you?
Was that Grandpa's or was that his?
It's his.
I'm surprised he was allowed to have one.
Back in them days, everybody bought their kid a BB gun. Daisy BB gun.
I'm surprised Grandma let him have one.
She
See, Annalise says we're hilarious.
She grew up on a farm, so it was nothing for people. She probably had one she was growing up too. Girls learn to drive tractor, wear pants like boys, and get out there in a hay truck if they didn't have enough.
Coveralls.
Yeah. So, nobody thought about, oh no, don't give your kid a BB gun. And so keep that one. So he's out there shooting birds. And I says, you got to stop that. You have to stop it now. That's wrong. This. So I went and got one of Dad's ties and I come up behind him and try to choke him. So he stopped and he got up and he's beating on me, which he did a lot. And finally, I went out.
Typical brother.
And I jumped on my bike and I was riding out the driveway onto the road, going to right away, and I feel zing! And I'm like, oh, that hurt. I was like, he shot me! I'm like, you just shot me with a BB. No, it ricocheted. I didn't shoot you. It ricocheted off that tree. I says, I don't believe that for a minute. He says, well, you better not tell Mom, because we won't be able to go to Grandma's for the summer. I says, you better believe we won't be able to. So we never did tell Mom till we were all grown up and married.
Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining while you can.
Oh, hey, Vicky. We just about got
Our cuff
the
covered.
cuff covered. And I think I got a little more on this side and the other, which it would be better if I did. So I'm going to try to smush it down a little bit. But in the interest of, getting done, we're not going to decorate this one a day anyway, so I can deal with it later on. So you can see here, there's more on this side than this side. See how
it's thicker.
Yeah. So I need to put no more on the other side too. So, and I'm going to do it from the top. So at least it'll match there. That would be a good thing. Yeah, there's a big blob underneath. You want to be feeling over it inside to make sure that you don't have, big blobs. And I apologize to you that it takes so long, but it does. Once you're doing it, you won't feel like it's taking long.
It's something you could do while you watch TV, though, or just some relaxing music.
I'm all for that because I'm either...
Or even while you sit outside on a nice day.
Yeah. I'm either
backyard.
I'm counting parts or separating parts of a beer flat or doing something for a project, for the next video. So, yeah, I watch a lot of TV.
Miss Mill watches TV, too.
Oh, yeah, Millie watches TV.
She watches squirrels and birds.
No, she watches more than that now. She comes running in and it's like some violent show.
Oh, no.
If John likes it, she'll sit there and watch it.
Oh, because all the sound effects, probably.
You're going to corrupt my cat, John. Mrs. asks me, do I care?
She probably hears all the sound effects.
That probably is it. She likes the cat ones, with the birds and that. She still likes them, but not like she used to. It's like
she's seen enough. They're all kind of the same.
She wants to see something else.
Different, yeah.
Like when I put the...
Are there any with mice?
Yeah, there are. She goes nuts over that. But, see, I got a little bit where the underneath is showing, so I want to be sure I got that down. And does it show? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, so now it's a little bit better. You can see they're not perfect. You're never going to get it perfect. Nothing is perfect, but I got it more, even. And I tried my hinge and it's good. I would probably put a little bit more puffy.
I was going to say maybe just put a teeny
up to
bit.
here, but I'm not going to do that now. I can take care of that when I embellish it, so I don't know. Okay, so that's how that goes. So
Unless you're embellishing with epoxy, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, you embellish it with epoxy. So I'm just going to set this aside. Now what you could do, once you get used to this, you could build this out wider. Just use the...
On the top?
Yeah. Because it's pretty narrow, like, I'll show you. I'll put it on. It's pretty narrow. See? It's a pretty bangle.
Oh, you mean like out, like on the sides?
Make
like
it wider.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can make it wider. But it's pretty.
You can also make it more raised up if you want to
You
on the
could.
top.
You could.
It's just the inside you need to be careful with.
Yeah.
Unless you have a tiny wrist, like I said, like me.
Well, I don't. So, now, here's something, too, you're going to want to know. Epoxy Sculpt, as we said, will stick to everything. And if you put it on a silicone mat, you don't have to worry about it sticking. Or like on your Teflon mat, you have to worry about sticking there. But it will, like, settle as it's sitting there.
And it'll become flat a little
It'll
bit.
be flat there. So that's not a terribly bad thing. But what you're going to want to do is after it sits there like that for a half hour, you want to pick
And
it
flip
up
it over.
and flip it over. So,
And maybe just like pinch it a little.
yeah, and just check your, did you get it where you wanted it to be. This isn't half bad.
So like this one, like she already had done, it's pretty good. Like it's not too.
Yeah, because I flipped it.
Yep,
But I can see where it was down.
a little
It'll
bit.
get shiny. Okay, so that is how, my dears, that's how you cover the cuff. Yay! But we aren't nearly done. Oh no. We have to about
You
just
can't just leave it like that.
no.
We gotta make it pretty.
Yeah. So anyway,
Like this one.
oh, she said my hair looks wonderful. Well, thank you, Deborah. I had to get like 2.5 inches cut off of it because when you have fine thin hair and it gets long, it gets ratty. So I got the ratty off. Now, when you go to put some on the top and like embellish it, okay, you take off a piece. And now you're going to want to make that as thin as you can, but let still have enough that something stick down into it.
So kind of like pretend like you're working like on pizza dough or something.
Like
pushing something out?
Just
You're like-
get flat, flatten it. You can always pull it off, if you got too much. So anyway, I'm just going to do little parts.
So this is slightly different than last week. Because last week you made like little blobs, like little balls, and pushed them onto the
Yeah.
crescent. So this is slightly different.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
The little balls, the little blobs. Oh, okay.
Because then you'd have, let's try that. Because then you'd have it equal. I don't know why. I get in the middle of one of these things and I start sweating like a pig and feeling lightheaded. It must be the effect you have on me.
The lights.
The light.
It's all shining down.
Hey, don't worry if you got little creases and stuff in the ball. Okay, now which one's done? That one's the one's cured. This one's not completely cured, but it is cured enough that we...
Oh, wow, that's a big ball.
Yeah, it is. It fools you. You think, oh, it's not so much. And you put, oh, wow, yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot. So this weekend in my family, we have the famous Knox family reunion, which is every 2 years. See, I put like a coin size drop.
Like penny. Or a dime, maybe a dime.
Dime. And I'm excited about it because we only have it 2 years, and I don't see these people except at the reunion. His cousins and stuff like that. So they'll be all
Everyone's so busy.
Yeah, we'll be all coming.
We have a bunch of new babies, too.
Yeah. Are you on?
If they're coming. The
Are you
babies.
going?
Oh, yeah. I won't be with you guys Friday when you take the food ahead of time. But yeah, I'm coming Saturday for sure.
Okay. Oh, you won't be with us on Friday.
On Friday, no. Because I
Okay.
have an appointment early in the day and I don't know what time I'm going to
Yeah.
be back.
That's okay.
So, but no, definitely I'll be there Saturday.
I decided I had to go up. See, it starts Friday night, goes all day.
People start coming into town.
Yeah, it's like Friday night, and then we have a supper Friday night, and then it's all day Saturday
I mean,
till
if I'm-
late, and then it's Sunday night.
If I'm back in time, I might be able to try to come with you guys Friday. I'll just have to play it by ear.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
for
we have
sure
to,
Saturday.
We're gonna have to knock a little bit early. So I'm just putting these on. See, this is about even. You want it to be about even because you want to have like the same depth.
So you start at the opening ends and then work your way back to the back
and I
hinge.
remembered, I got to come back from it a little bit because once I get spread it out, I could get it too thick there, and I won't like that. So I put them back.
Plus, you don't want to cover up the opening either, because then it's not going to open either. Again, you're going to cover up the...
Here we go with another issue, you know?
Because we did so good with keeping that so it doesn't cure, you know, so we don't want to do that again with adding things too close to the ends when you're adding your embellishments with your new blobs of epoxy.
Okay. Ready. Yeah, I wish I had nice thick hair and then I wouldn't get ratty. But I don't.
It looks like she's like how it looks. It just looks like you're applying like pebbles or rocks to the top of your cuff.
Yeah, kind of sort of does. Yeah. And you want to try and get them all like the same size. I wonder if you could take that box off that chair and bring it over here. Would you bring the chair over here?
Oh. Mm-hmm. Is it too high? Because otherwise Jordan can get the one from the stool from out in the garage for you.
Yeah, go get the stool from out the garage.
The wooden one or one of the blue ones, like the actual like chair style ones with the back.
Whatever. Both will work. Okay, I think we need like one more on each side. We'll be good to go. Hey, y'all. Oh, hey, Rebecca. You made it. Nobody ever is too late here. I keep reminding you. Nobody's ever too late because this is recorded. So if you can't make it like when we're on.
Okay, we'll try this. And if you don't like it, I'll go get the other chair.
that'll work. I think I'll be high enough on that. A little bit of dirt doesn't hurt either. Everything out
It's just
there,
a little dusty, that's all.
everything out there is kind of dusty. Can you still get it?
Well, yeah, because I'm focused on your hands, what you're doing.
All right. Yeah, I just kind of felt like I don't usually stand that long. You know, I don't do so good with it. I'm an old woman.
Let me zoom out just slightly.
I'm an old woman. There was this one lady teaching the R&B runs, and she says, I take private students too. You can contact me for a price. We do it over Facebook, you know, or like, not Facebook. Was that Messenger on the iPad? Whatever, not the Messenger. What's it called? On the iPad, where you see the person.
Oh, FaceTime.
FaceTime. We do it on FaceTime. I says, okay. I thought, I said, I wonder if I said I would take a couple lessons from her, which would not be a bad idea. And I would say first, she's going to want to like test me. That's how they do it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it off camera. I don't want you to look at me just yet. And I want you to tell me how old I am. I want to see if she can guess. Because I don't sound like I'm 68.
Mm-mm. Hey, Rebecca. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
We're starting on the embellishing.
And you want to watch it, you don't get like some kind of smush in there. I don't like. I got a little thing. I'm gonna have to cover that up. What do I call that? Smush. I don't know. Some kind of thing. I know what to say. I can't remember. Okay, so we got it pretty well spread out, so we should have like, oh, I gotta put the one last one. We should have equidistance, you know? We should have about the same depth, and you know all that. So I don't know. This might be a little shy. Little shy. So let me try it. Ugh. All right. So here. All I can say is for this reunion, I'm sure glad they ain't staying with me.
We don't have a house big enough for all of us. There's a lot.
And then you got this business in here too, so this business. You know, they stay at my brother. He has a great big house. Great big house and a great big yard. I don't have that either. That's okay, I don't need it. He can have it and he can pay for it too. Okay, so, and we can come and enjoy it from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ones in the front and I'm going to just kind of move them over. The thing is, I'm going to have to kind of work fast because I don't want this stuff to carry on me. I won't be able to push it out, down and into it, you know? So I'm going to have to kind of work fast. So this one might not look quite like I wish it would. But, you know, this is just for the sake of showing you. Now, I have Pearl Rose Montees here. I think there's some on the site. If not, somebody can let me know or I'll look later and I'll order some. But that's what these are. And they are hard as heck to find. But I can find it. Alright, so, okay. So I've got this pushed out to the, no, yeah, I've got this pushed almost out to the end. Now, I'm going to want to taper it down a little bit as I get toward the end because I've got to be sure, again, I'm not going to have stuff sticking in there. So now what I did in my last one is I wanted to have a little ornament like in the middle. So I took it, I pushed it in high. So it's like halfway pushed in, but enough so it's going to stay. And so now I've got a little ornament in the middle. And you can do that or not do that, or however you want to do it. That's up to
That's
you.
how she has it on this other one.
That's what I did. In fact, you know what? You better should give me that because I might have to have a point of reference. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get all fancy schmancy with this like I would want to. So I'm just going to have to dot it and fill it in a little bit. You guys are going to get the point. You're going to know, and it's going to be great. Now, because this stuff is starting to set up, you got to really smush that down in there so it'll stay. If not, you're going to have to push stuff up against it. Again it. See? Now, I can't believe I had enough time to decorate that whole thing while we were on last week, but I guess I did. You remember? Do you remember?
No, we did the necklace crescent
Did we? We
last week. No,
I did
you
not.
showed it.
I did it, but we didn't
Yeah, you didn't show it like
yeah,
on
I'm doing
camera,
this
like
right
making it.
and getting all the embellishments on as I would like. It's probably going to take too long unless I just go through and smudge it up, and then that's not going to be good. Nobody's going to like that. So I may have to do it on my own, then take a picture and show you later. But I showed you the basic things of covering it. And remember, you can cover just about anything you want to. So you see something and you think, hey, I think that might make a good jewelry base or something like that. Get out your epoxy sculpt, because it can become whatever you want it to be. It would probably, another little tip would be, it probably would be good if I had mixed all this stuff up first. And then I could mix a fresh batch. See, that's going to come off because I'm pushing it. and then mix a fresh batch, so that I have a lot more play time, to get it. But see, what I'm going to do is you want to be sure that you don't get too high, and then you got to smush it down all along, so get it nice and even. When you put that on there, get it nice and even. Can everyone hear me? I'm kind of fading out, I think. If you can't hear me, say something, and I will repeat myself, because I have that bad habit of talking too low. All right, so, same thing over here. It's pretty good over here, actually. Get it all smushed down in, okay? In fact, what I might do is try to do as much of this side as possible, and then maybe quit and mix a new batch to do the other side, because it's going to get too hard for me to push stuff into. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's been sitting for a while because
Yeah.
we used that same.
I use the same method of using a little bit more hardener than...
Well, it's still the same epoxy from when we started the video, from when you started
Yeah, and it's been a while.
covering the cough.
Because we've been we've been on here for a while.
Almost an hour.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So listen to her. I don't have as much play time as I would like to get this on. But it shows you how you just do a second layer. And then into that second layer, it needs to be pliable enough to put your embellishments. Now,
My bad.
most of you have been with me for a while, and you know all about flow and placement for assemblage, right? If you don't, just go back to my assemblage videos and you'll see it. That applies here. Flow and balance, all that. You're just going to use disparate parts, unlikely things. So, but that's a principle that you're going to want to go by. You're going to want to put it together with balance. So
Hi, Andrea.
that's another reason why I should only do this one side. But now I've got these things on here. Maybe I should take them off. I think I'm going to take them off, guys, because the stuff's setting up. And I'm not going to be able to,
In bed.
No.
It won't set
So
down.
you got to be mindful of that. If it starts setting up on you because you've been taking your good old time putting things on it, then you're going to want to mix a new batch. Now, if I was faster at this little coin dot thing would have worked just fine. Well, it still will. I just do the other side like that. But I'm pulling it off for now.
Make beads real quick.
Yeah.
Roll some beads.
Yeah, if you got stuff left, you can always make some beads. Doesn't have to be lost. Take it off. I'm taking it off.
Yeah, that'll make a good bead right there,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, so then I'm gonna have to get in here and dig and see what all I got, and then hurry up and get it on there, because I'm not gonna have what I want. It's still good. I hear metal go into metal, so it's still good. That's not hurt. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use the Pearl Montees kind of like as my balance. Okay. So what's that? Cat hair. You will have that?
Melly.
You will have that. Yesterday I went out there and Jordan was packing boxes and she was laying on top of a Remus tissue paper, and I said, "Get her off of there." And she's behaving over there. I said, "I don't care, get her off." People are going to get a box with a bunch of cat hair in it. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of form my balance with these Pearl Montees. So I'm just going to kind of do it like, just stagger them, like this.
And then put stuff in between.
Yeah. Which, if I do that and it gets set up too much for me to embed it, I can glue it. And you might never know. And then you might.
Or you could just colorize it, maybe, too.
Yeah, I could do that. So,
Or a ball chain or cup chain, because that's smaller
ball
than
chain
other
cupcake,
things.
that's very good too.
Those go into small
do that.
cracks.
Yeah, I like that for that reason. Here's some
Which you did use on the other one too. You used ball chain and cup chain.
ball chain, ball chain. If you got a kit, you have some in your embellishments bag. But I'd almost lay odds that you had some anyway. So, there you go. See, I'm just staggering it. And then
That's
it'll
pretty.
make it easier because I
It's
can
pretty
go-
even just with the pearls like that.
I can.
It's very
yeah, you
classic.
could just stud it. You could. But I can go in between the pearls and it'll make it a lot easier to decorate and keep my balance.
Deborah said it was good to see actually, because you got to see how long it takes to put the epoxy on, because she was wondering and worried about that.
Yeah. So we solved that. You're going to do enough to do one side. Then you're going to quit with that stuff if you have some left.
And
make some beads
mix
real quick.
more.
So you're not wasting it. And then make another batch.
Hey
for the
Jan.
other side. Jan here.
Yep.
Hey, Jan. Hey, Andrea. I didn't see you. Say hi.
Yeah. I said a quick hi. I don't know
did
if she
you?
heard
Good.
me, but yeah.
Good. So there I go with that. See? So now, I want to be sure I got it smushed down good. And there, of course, this makes it fatter, but we want it to be fatter on the outside, not the inside. We got it fat enough in here.
Yeah, I actually really like it with the pearls.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's pretty. You could just stud it.
It's because pearls are classic. You can't really go
Yep,
wrong
they
with
are.
pearls.
So I might just take a decent sized piece of ball chain. And ball chain's a good embellishment for this because it is really inexpensive. So that's kind of nice. Most things are these days. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put some against that first one. And then I'm going to go from here, and I'm just going to push it in, kind of, sort of pushing it in. And if it comes loose, all you got to do is just take a little piece of glue and glue that down. It's not a big deal. You'd like to get it embedded so that the epoxy sculpt is the glue, and you don't have to do anything. I don't know if you guys can see this. My hands are probably in the way. I'm
trying to get it in for them.
I'm just kind of swirling around. Can you try not to move that too much because it gives some people a headache.
Yeah. It was just the light was, for some reason, it was glaring, so I was trying
It'd
to
be
move it.
good if
so.
we got one of those ones that it was on a remote control and you just push it. Maybe we'll do that. It's not like we never made any videos and don't deserve one, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
How you tell your kid, well, you just get a little bit better at that, and then I'll get you something like that. I'm not getting you something real good till you prove you're going to be good at it. Well, I don't know if we proved we're good at this, but we proved that we're going to do it. 13 years. I think this one will be 565 videos. That's a few. Like I always tell people, you can watch them get old. I think I was... 13 years ago, how old would I be? I'm 68 now.
53?
57, 56, 57, something like that. Because you got 8.
Minus 3 is 5. Oh, right. Yeah. So 55.
Something like that. And I had red hair.
You did, yes.
That didn't mean it wasn't this color underneath. I wasn't ready to deal with it yet. The pandemic took care of that for me because I couldn't get to the hairdresser. So I said, oh, what the hey, let's see what it looks like. And I left it there. But then I started to do the gray blending thing and we ended up with blonde hair, so. Whatever. Okay, so I just did this. And it's kind of, twisting around, going through. Now, I'm not going to put it down underneath because if I do, I just realized I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have a problem getting it to fit up. I'm gonna do it. So I just cut it. Yeah, and it's easy to cut. You can cut it with a shears or with your nipper or whatever you got. Okay, so
Oh, that's cute.
I got some stuff in there. So now I could just take some stuff and build up in there until I get her going like this. And another thing that's really good to use on something like this is bead caps, inverted, upside down. You can use them to set stones. Cool.
And I just put up some of the gold flower ones that are really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
On
These-
Etsy, and they're 50-piece packages.
Yeah, these ones. They are my favorite. So I'm gonna
Are those the gold ones?
I'm gonna mix the metals up a little bit. So I put one there.
Yep, those are the ones that I put
Okay,
up.
so that's about that, guys. So I think that gets us where we want to go. Now, one last thing I would tell you is, when you do this, try to get some stuff up along the edge. In here, like I did here. So, I'm going to quit here for today. Thank you so much for coming, being a little bit of an audience for me. Appreciate it so much. When I get this done, I will post a picture, okay? So I hope that seems pretty clear to you. I think so. I think you will. So have a great day. Until next time.